Welcome to this presentation on minimalism. Minimalism is an art movement characterized by extreme simplicity of form and the literal objective approach. It focuses on geometric shapes, a limited color palette, and industrial materials, striving to eliminate personal expression and symbolism. An example includes Absalon's Cell Number 1, as it focuses on readily available materials. Decoration takes a back seat, allowing the artwork's form and materials to speak for themselves. Another example includes this 1965 untitled sculpture by Robert Morris. Crafted from industrial materials, its clean lines and simple forms highlight the inherent qualities of the materials themselves. Like many minimalist works, it goes without a title, allowing the visual experience to take center stage. Minimalism was born in 1960s New York City, rejecting abstract expressionism's emotional chaos, sparking both praise and controversy for its focus on simplicity and form. An example of abstract expressionism, here is Jackson Pollock's emblematic work, Yellow Islands in 1952. Acclaimed for pioneering the drip painting method, Pollock expertly wielded enamel paints over canvas, creating a highly animated and emotive masterpiece that encapsulates the soul of this groundbreaking movement. Number 23 exemplifies action painting, a key branch of abstract expressionism. Here, Pollock's energetic movements create a dynamic web of drip paint, opposite to minimalism's emphasis on controlled simplicity. Minimalism borrowed heavily from De Stijl, which is Dutch for the style, and Bauhaus, a German art school between 1919 and 1933, adapting their emphasis on simplicity, geometric forms, basic colors, and integrating art into daily life. These two were influential European experimental movements focused on modernizing visual arts and design. Bridging the gap between Expressionism and Minimalism, Wassily Kandinsky's Composition 8 in 1923 stands as a pivotal work of the Bauhaus movement. While this piece retains a sense of unpredictability through its energetic use of colors and random figures, the artist employs a grid structure and geometric shapes, hinting at the geometric abstraction that would become a hallmark of minimalism. Meanwhile, a cornerstone of the Stijl movement is Piet Mondrian's work in 1930, Composition with Red, Blue, and Yellow. In stark contrast to the gestural freedom of abstract expressionism, this piece emphasizes order and balance. Mondrian utilizes a strict grid of black lines to separate meticulously placed rectangles of primary colors. Taking a closer look, we go to 1915 with Malevich's Black Square, prefiguring minimalism, a shift from representation to pure abstraction. In the 1950s, artists like Frank Stella explored minimalist ideas through geometric forms, rejecting abstract expressionism's emotional focus. Here's Malevich's Black Square, often considered a foundational work of abstract and minimalist art. And here is an untitled work of Frank Stella in 1964, featuring only the colors yellow and blue to form a striking geometric pattern. In the 1960s, minimalism surged with New York City gallery shows, Donald Judd's theorizing, and exhibitions like Primary Structures, all emphasizing industrial materials in simple forms. The 1966 Primary Structures exhibit at the Jewish Museum, New York City, became a pivotal moment for minimalism. Featuring simple forms and industrial materials, the exhibition brought the movement to a wider audience and solidified its place in contemporary art. Beyond the 1970s, minimalism's influence spread to architecture, music, and design. Its artlessness and focus on function even shaped digital art and consumer products in the 80s and 90s, solidifying its impact on contemporary culture. A significant milestone was the 2004 Tate Modern Retrospective, which highlighted the enduring influence of minimalist principles on contemporary art and design. Its Its influence sees artists like Ai Weiwei and Olafur Eliasson using its principles. Ai Weiwei's 2010 Sunflower Seeds critiques mass production with millions of handcrafted porcelain seeds. It reflects on China's craft history and made in China realities, highlighting both conformity and the power of collective action. Eliasson's 1999 to 2019 Glacier Melt series, with the use of 30 photos, uses repetition and contrast to depict climate crisis. A minimalist grid reveals glacier loss over 2 decades, underlining the urgency of global warming. Having explored key milestones, it is essential to understand the broader socio-political context that shaped and influenced this art form. Minimalism didn't develop in a vacuum. It emerged during a time of significant political and social upheaval, reflecting a societal shift towards simplicity and clarity. Starting with the US Civil Rights Movement, this period saw a significant cultural shift towards more straightforward and clear communication. It was marked by a strong demand for justice and equality. Not long after, the anti-Vietnam War protests also peaked in the late 1960s. These protests were a reaction against the chaos and devastation of war, emphasizing a return to essentials and simplicity. Across the Atlantic, the 1968 French protests roared against social inequality, limited education, and political stagnation. This yearning for change resonated across society. At the same time, the Prague Spring in Czechoslovakia sought to simplify and reduce the complexity of the existing political structure. This movement was a period of political liberalization, pushing for reforms within the communist regime. Having seen how socio-political events influenced the minimalist movement, together with its historical foundations, we now turn our attention to the core aspects of minimalist art itself. Minimalism focuses on basic geometric shapes and the material's essence, rejecting emotional expression for objectivity. Industrial processes create clean finishes and often large-scale, site-specific works, emphasizing the artwork's interaction with its environment, a recurring theme in minimalism. Minimalist artists often work with sculpture, painting, and installations, using industrial and common materials. An essential aspect of minimalism is its integration of light and space, transforming them into key components of the artwork. An example of a minimalist sculpture, Charlotte Posenensk's Square Tubes in 1967, consists of galvanized steel tubes. This piece can be arranged and rearranged in various configurations, reflecting the minimalist ethos of simplicity, functionality, and viewer engagement. An example of minimalist painting, Agnes Martin's Happy Holiday in 1999, embodies the movement's essence through its calm, orderly structure of meticulously rendered stripes. Another minimalist sculpture, Jiro Takamatsu's Oneness of Concrete in 1971, utilizes raw concrete, a material that is both industrial and elemental. Prominent artists include Donald Judd, Carl Andre, and Dan Flavin. These artists focus on the artwork itself, without external references, highlighting the simplicity and the intrinsic qualities of the materials used. Donald Judd explored materiality in his untitled works in the 1970s. This 1972 untitled piece uses copper, enamel, and aluminum. This 1980 sculpture, composed of steel, aluminum, and perspex, continues Judd's exploration of industrial materials. Vertical rectangular units showcase focus on repetition and form. This 1967 stainless steel piece exemplifies focus on form, inviting contemplation of the object itself. While aesthetics may have shifted, Judd's emphasis on organization as art remains a powerful concept. In contrast to Judd's material focus, Dan Flavin explored light as his medium. His The Diagonal in 1963 utilizes commercially available fluorescent tubes, positioned diagonally to illuminate the space. This illustrates Flavin's signature approach, using light to transform and interact with the surrounding environment. This 1987 untitled work, with fluorescent tubes and metal, shows his signature use of light in the industrial materials. Created in tribute to his friend, fellow minimalist Donald Judd, whom we've just mentioned, it embodies their shared focus on space, light, and materiality. Another untitled piece in 1977 further explores Flavin's innovative use of light. This arrangement of fluorescent light tubes in a grid pattern creates a visually engaging interaction of colors and shadows. His Monument series, spanning from 1964 to 1970, employs cool white lights to create minimalist sculptures that pay homage to constructivist Vladimir Tatlin. Constructivism is an artistic and architectural philosophy that originated in Russia in the early 20th century, characterized by a commitment to modernity, technological advancement, and a utilitarian approach to art and design. Each piece pays homage to Tatlin through industrial forms and verticality, reflecting the minimalist reimagining of Tatlin's utopian tower. These works highlight the bridge between constructivism and minimalism. These pieces illustrate the continuous artistic conversation between past and present, emphasizing how minimalism was shaped by and responds to earlier movements like constructivism. To understand the inspiration behind Flavin's Monument series, we look at Tatlin's visionary yet unbuilt monument, designed in 1919 to 1920. The original monument has not survived and is known only from photographs, but it was never intended to be a durable object. While Flavin's use of light transformed spaces, Carl Andre took a different approach by laying materials directly on the floor, emphasizing their inherent qualities and simplicity. His 2011 work, 144 Titanium Square, features 144 titanium tiles arranged in a grid pattern on the floor. His equivalent 8 piece consists of fire bricks arranged in a simple, geometric formation on the floor. The simplicity and repetition in the arrangement highlight minimalism's emphasis on form and materiality over traditional artistic expression. Steel Zinc Plane from 1969 features a checkerboard pattern made from steel and zinc plates arranged on the floor, inviting viewers to contemplate the inherent qualities of the materials. Transitioning from Carl Andre's floor pieces, Sol LeWitt's 1971 untitled lithograph on paper piece demonstrates focusing on the repetition of simple geometric patterns. His two open modular cubes, half off, from 1972, features two modular cubes made from enamel-coated aluminum. The open structure of the cubes and their arrangement invite viewers to explore the relationship between form, space, and material. Beyond individual artists, minimalism's impact is global. Its focus on clean lines reshaped architecture, design, and even music. From buildings to everyday objects, minimalism's influence underscores its enduring adaptability across cultures. Minimalism's straightforwardness and focus on function is even reshaping pop culture. From simple tech interfaces to uncluttered fashion, it emphasizes ease and elegance. Films and literature portray it as a mark of modernity, confirming its widespread appeal. Uniqlo, the famous Japanese label, embodies minimalistic fashion with its clean, simple, and functional designs. Renowned for its timeless styles, top-notch materials, and a neutral color scheme, Uniqlo epitomizes less is more minimalist philosophy. Tetris, created in the Soviet Union, proves that complexity is not necessary for a game to be compelling and widely beloved. This game uses basic shapes and an easy objective to create a highly engaging experience. Nike's iconic swoosh logo is an example of minimalist graphic design. Created by Carolyn Davidson in 1971, this simple yet powerful design embodies motion and speed, aligning perfectly with the brand's identity. Google's homepage enhances user experience by eliminating distractions and emphasizing ease of use. With its clean, uncluttered layout, it focuses entirely on the search function. Minimalist principles extend beyond graphic design and UIs, shaping architecture, interior design, tech, and lifestyles. Sleek, functional spaces and products reflect the priority of simplicity and usability. A minimalist ethos encourages decluttering and valuing essentials, leading to more deliberate, less materialistic lives. The Niemeyer Center in Spain demonstrates minimalist architecture. This stunning structure features plainness, open spaces, and a focus on geometric forms. Muji, a Japanese retail company, is a leading example of minimalist retail. Known for its simple and functional products, Muji's design philosophy revolves around eliminating excess and focusing on the essentials. IKEA, the Swedish furniture giant, offers minimalist home decor. Their products are designed to be functional, affordable, and aesthetically pleasing, with a focus on simplicity and efficiency. Apple focuses on simplicity and intuitive user interfaces. Apple's commitment to minimalist design is evident in their devices, from the iPhone to the streamlined MacBook. Minimalism, despite its widespread influence, has been met with mixed reactions. Advocates praise its purity and focus on essentials, while critics argue that its austerity can come across as cold and impersonal. The debate often centers around the depth and meaning of minimalist works, with some viewing them as lacking emotional expression and others appreciating the clarity and precision. This dichotomy continues to fuel discussions and reinterpretations, ensuring that minimalism remains a provocative and evolving art movement. What do you think? Consider your own encounters with minimalist design and art. Is this movement, known for its pared down aesthetic, still relevant in our fast paced world? How has it transformed over time? And what exciting possibilities lie ahead? How have these principles shaped your experience? Think about how minimalism might continue to influence the way we view and interact with the world around us. Thank you all for your time. I hope this presentation has provided you with a deeper understanding of minimalism, its history, its principles, and its impact across various fields. If you have any questions or would like to discuss any aspects further, feel free to ask in the comments. Once again, thank you for watching.